Okay, my name's Craig Shipp. My website is CraigShipp.com, and that website was built many years ago using Google Sites. I often have people ask me about Google Sites and how to build them, what they're all about. They're a free service that Google offers. They're not filled with a bunch of ads. This website that we're looking at right now is for a friend of mine, and I worked on it for the last couple of days. I probably spent about an hour, hour and a half total actually on the site, and the header across the top is temporary. It's still a work in progress, but the framework has been laid, and I'm going to go over right now how the owner of the site will make changes to it. That's the nice thing about Google Sites, is once the site is built, it's pretty easy to change it and update it. I do recommend that you have somebody that knows what they're doing actually build the basic site like I've done here, so that then you can just take it from there and just keep it maintained, because you can do some damage if you noodle around in here and you don't know what you're doing. So let's start with the basics. On the left we've got the navigation. It says home page. It says announcements. If I click on announcements, that goes to the announcement page. The reason these three are indented is when I created the page, I put them under the home page. You have options when you create a new page where to nest it, and then these are not nested, so that's why they have separate standout links, more bold and so forth. So this is just a design element if you want it this way. Now if they're nested under home page, then it gives you the links. If I go back to the home page, you'll see that the links are down here: announcements, file download, schedule. Those are what's called sub pages. Okay, and so these pages here, again, it's just a page, but it's not nested under the home page. And this one, I've actually got a slideshow embedded, which you can upload your photos to Google Plus, and then you can embed them as a slideshow, which is kind of a neat thing. And then I have some links down below. Of course, you can add links to a page, and we're going to show you how you do all of this. And then the navigation on the left, you can also add links to this area. So I added a text section called Cool Links, and then I put some links here. I added the +1 option, and then I added another text box with the Contact Us, and then another text box with the thank you message. So these are just text boxes that I added on the left here. And so first of all, let me show you how you edit a page. So we're on a page right now. So if I click on the pencil in the upper right hand corner here, it brings it into the edit mode. Now this is where you do want to be a little careful. If you've got like an element like this, if I click on it, see the X, that gets rid of it. There's a left justifying tool and a right justifying tool, and then there's a text wrap on or off. And so you can determine whether or not text wraps around it. And I'll show you a page where we have that text wrap on later. Here it's not on. But you want to be careful not to accidentally delete this image, because it is a little tricky to put it back in. But if I wanted to edit this, let's say I wanted to add some text, I'd put my cursor to the end of this, hit return, and then just type whatever I'd like to type. Okay, so it's not difficult at all to edit. So since I don't really want to edit this page, I'm going to cancel out of this. Discard unsaved changes. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go to the sponsor section. Okay, now here I have text going around the image. All right, and so if I get into the edit mode here, again, I'm going to click on the pencil to edit. If I click on this image, I have it set to right justified, align right, which means that it's on the right. And then over here I have wrap on, the text wrap on. So that means as this text continues, it will eventually wrap around the image. So if I put a bunch of text in here, whoops. Okay, so I just put a bunch of text in. Notice how it wraps around the image. All right, so of course I don't want to leave that in there, so I'll go ahead and delete that out. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to cancel out again and discard any changes. All right, and so now let's say that on the sponsors page, let's say that I wanted to add a sub page, which I might very well want to do. Might want to have a sub page for each sponsor. I might want to list the sponsors here and then have it clickable so that it goes to a sub page. So if I click on the little paper symbol here with a little plus sign, that's new page. So I'm going to click on that, and this is important. I'm going to select put page under sponsors. All right, and I'm going to say sponsor 1, and this can be edited later. And so I'm going to create the page. Okay, and I'm going to put this is a test sponsor page. Okay, and while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and insert an image in here so you know how that works. So I'm going to go up to the insert in the upper left, insert image, and I'm going to choose a file, and I'm going to go onto my desktop, and I'm going to check Bull Blast sign. Oh, that's Bill, so it's not what I want. Okay, Bull Blast Howard County. Okay, so I'm going to say OK. All right, so there's an image. So I'm going to say OK. You notice how it's big. Well, no problem. That's the original size. I can click on 3 options now here: large, medium, and small. So I usually use large. So I'm going to click on large. That'll size it down to that size. And then notice how the cursor is blinking just to the right of the image. If I hit return, it'll go down below. So I'm going to say photo by, and this is all just temporary content, so it can all be edited. So there I put a link in, photo by CraigShipp.com. And if you type in a website address, so I'm going to type in http://bullblast.net. If I want to make that a link, I highlight that, and there's a linking tool up here. It's a little chain, and it says link. If I click on that, it'll make it a link. Okay, and I can bold text. So if I want to bold photo by, I just highlight it and click on the B. I can change the size of the text here. Okay, so you have full flexibility on what you want to do here. So now let's say I'm done editing this page. Of course, I could change the name from sponsor 1 to whatever I want. You want to keep these names short because you don't want them to wrap in that left column over there. You don't want the names to be too long. So what I typically do is have a relatively short name here, and then if I want a longer name on the page, I'll put it here. I put my cursor to the left of that, hit a return or 2, and I'll say this is sponsor 1. And of course that could be whatever name you want. And then I would typically make that large. So I'm going to make that 24 point, and I'm going to bold it. Okay, and then, and this is a trick that you'll want to remember. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is a tip that you will want to remember. I'm going to save the page, and now I don't want that sponsor 1 to appear there, because that's just the name that's going to be in the left navigation, right? So what I want to do typically is hide that. So I'm going to go here to More, Page Settings, and I'm going to get rid of Show Page Title here. You can also get rid of Allow Attachments, Allow Comments if you want. I'm going to leave the comments thing here. And then you can put a page description. That's good for SEO. So you'd put the company's name and their town and stuff in there for the sponsor, right? So I'm going to say save this. Notice how much cleaner that looks and how that looks better. Okay, so this is a sub page of sponsors. So notice under sponsors now I have sponsor 1. So if I go back to the home page, all right, I'm back on the home page. Now sponsors has a little arrow here that you can expand it and show what's under there. All right. Now, by default, it's interesting, the home page seems to have them already displayed, and this didn't. So what I'm going to do, and this is another good trick to know, I'm going to copy the URL, and I'm going to get what's called an incognito window on Chrome. File, new incognito window. Hello, Dave. I'm recording something. What's up? I'm going to put it on my Facebook. Is that good enough? Or can you email me? Can you email me his email? Okay, bye. We got a show coming up here at 10 a.m. Frederick Week. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now this is what's called an incognito window, and this is how John Q. Public sees the page. So you'll notice here that John Q. Public is going to see sponsor 1 showing up as an indentation under sponsors. So that's good. That's kind of the way we want it. So the sponsors will be all listed there. They'll all have their own separate page. So now I'm going to show you how to get to this left navigation bar and mess around with it, which you want to be very careful here. Measure 7 times and cut once on this one. So under More, I'm going to go to Edit Site Layout. Okay? And you can see now as when I hover the mouse over these, they become reactive. All right, so let's say I want to edit the thank you message. I come down here to thank you and just click. And that brings up the window here, and I can edit this. And I could make bullblast.net a link, for example. I'll go ahead and highlight that and do that. So make it a link, boom. So I can save that. All right, now bullblast.net down there is a link. Okay, so now I got to click close over here in the upper right. All right, and I've edited that. All right. So that's how you edit the left side. So on the cool links, let's say I wanted to take out one of these links or I wanted to add one. I would pull out, go to Edit Site Layout. Okay, and then I would click on this, and again it brings it up, and now I can add a link, delete a link out, or add some more text, you know, whatever I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of that because I don't really want to change that right now. All right, so I'm going to close this. So, and again, if I want to edit this home page, and typically the home page, you're going to try to get it the way you like it and not edit it a lot. You're going to try to make the changes on things like your blog, on Twitter, on Facebook. Those are the places where you do stuff that changes a lot. And the other thing I wanted to mention is I did add an announcement section, and this is also, you can treat this as a blog. So this one, you just click on New Post, and you can post an announcement. So you're not really editing the page. You're not really messing around. You're not even going into the edit mode over here. So let's say I click on New Post. Okay, and I'm going to say demo post. Whoops. Demo. Testing. Testing and announcement. Okay, and then I could insert an image here. Same thing up in the upper right here, insert, and there's all kinds of different options of things I can insert, a chart, a calendar, you know, a YouTube video, a lot of different things, right? And then I can say, I'm just going to go ahead and save this. I'm not going to change it anymore. I'm going to say save this. There's also an option to save a draft. That's interesting. I've never used that, but that's an interesting feature. Okay, so now I've done a demo post. So now if I go back to my home page, go back to announcements, there's the post that was there before, and then there's a demo post right here. So again, that's great for announcements, for things that you just want to get out there real quick. You can put them here, you can put them on your Facebook page, put them on your Twitter, whatever. And each announcement has its own website address. So up here at the top, that's the URL for the announcement. So you can use that on Facebook, share that on Facebook, and that way you're driving people back to your website when they click and look at that announcement. So you want to do that. You want to drive people back and forth between Facebook and your website. So that's a quick overview of how to play around with your website. So let me just go to one more page here. I really like this task list page. Here you can create items that you're going to work on. So I'm going to go ahead and add an item right now. And this could be for your team that's working on this project, or working on your website, or working on whatever it is you're doing. So I'm going to say submitted by Craig, description, make demo, video, status, in progress, and it's not yet complete because I haven't uploaded it. So I'm going to say save. So now that's on the list here of things that are being done in progress right here, right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the home page, and I'll show you the slideshows page. I would think we already saw that actually. And I think I even showed you the about page. Yeah, the about page. Yep, we saw that. So that is it. If you have any questions, as always, just go to CraigShipp.com, my website, CraigShipp.com, and get in touch, and we'll help you out as best we can. So that's a very straightforward Google site, easy to expand, easy to add pages, easy to manage, and it's absolutely free. Of course, you might want to pay somebody like myself to set up the site initially. I typically charge $1,000 to set up the site, the initial site setup. I charge, if you're a sponsor of Frederick.com or one of our community websites, I typically charge about $500 to set it up. And I'm still working on this one. Typically it takes just a couple of days to get your site done and working and ready for you to modify. And my fees all include training and helping you out as you move forward, so that you always have support, because you're going to need it. You're going to have questions. But once you learn it, you know it, then you no longer have to pay anybody to maintain your website. And you can do it yourself, and it's up right away because you know you've done it, and you have complete control, and you're not paying as you go a la carte to some web developer, and that can add up over time to a lot of money. So CraigShipp.com. Thanks for watching.